What is Alzheimer's disease?
I don't remember.
Well, I am no expert by any means on this subject, but I think it's a neurological problem that kind of deals with the brain, and I think it might be something that's kind of a deteriorating thing that's going on. Affects behaviors. It affects mental capabilities, things like that.
Alzheimer's is a disease that old people get when they can't remember things very well. Not even their own family sometimes.
Yeah.
What is Alzheimer's disease?
Yeah.
Isn't it where you forget over a certain amount of time? Like you just forget everything that, you just forget.
Ashley, what is Alzheimer's disease?
It's what old people get and they forget things.
It's a disease where people get, usually when they're older, they like forget things, and that's about what I know about it.
Alzheimer's, to me, from my understanding, is when their memory deteriorates. And it's like, sometimes things will pop up that you would not think that they'd remember, but they're short-term stuff.
So Nicole, can you explain in your own words what Alzheimer's disease is?
Alzheimer's disease is a degeneration of the brain.
I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world, Been waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, been holding it in for a while, Take you with me if I can, been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world.
How many people in the United States have Alzheimer's disease?
Okay, well, there are like 130 million people, something like that, in the United States. So I would assume about 10 million.
How many people in the United States have Alzheimer's disease? What do you think? Yes?
Probably like 10%.
10%.
Let's say 20,000.
I know that quite a few are actually affected. I want to say maybe 15%. What do you think, Tim?
Oh, I'd say 507,002.
I think it's being diagnosed more often now. It's a more common disease, so I think probably around 50% of elderly people.
I've tried to cut these corners, try to take the easy way out. I kept on falling short of something. I could have gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way for something.
What are the stages of Alzheimer's?
I don't know.
Guess.
I'm not a scientist.
Well,
Why
guess.
are you doing this?
Stages of Alzheimer's, you start forgetting like little things, like where you put your keys last, and where
in your pocket.
And just like, did I make a phone call like 30 seconds ago?
Yeah.
And it just gets worse, like to where you don't really recognize who people are.
I don't know for sure, but I think when you start out, you just kind of start forgetting things, and then I think you get scared of things.
The stages are when they forget things and they'll do things that they don't really know what they're actually doing, and they'll get normal once in a while. They'll remember, but then they'll forget like the next couple minutes.
Temporary memory loss and then full memory loss.
What are the causes?
Well, stage 1, I'm just guessing, they forget little things, nothing doesn't seem too big. Then as each stage goes on, they forget more things, and that's all I know.
So the first stage is you start forgetting things.
Okay.
And then the second stage is you start forgetting more things.
I think the dementia dementia is like the first stage of Alzheimer's, and then it slowly moves to Alzheimer's.
The stages in the development of Alzheimer's disease.
Yes.
Well, I'm assuming that it is one of those things that has an onset and then has gradual, the severity of the illness, gradually gets worse. So it has like a beginning stage, maybe a couple of other stages in there,
Okay.
and then you die.
Take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top.
What causes Alzheimer's disease?
Is it genetic?
I don't think we actually know what causes Alzheimer's disease.
Right, like old age, we know, is the general stereotype that we think causes Alzheimer's disease, but
So I don't think. I know that they did a study on people that have had multiple like brain contusions and how that can contribute to degeneration of the brain and the memory, but that's all I've heard of.
The causes are defects in the brain.
Is when people get really old and they don't have enough brain activity, and so their brain starts to shut down.
Smoking marijuana. Smoking marijuana. Smoking marijuana.
There's genetic causes.
Hey, I need that.
So the genetic causes is like, so say that your mom has Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And then you're more likely, so say, okay, you're more prone to get it, but if your mom and your dad have it, then you're most likely going to get it when you're either older, because Alzheimer's doesn't really happen to people who are your age.
I have no idea. I don't know if it has anything to do with just being old.
Okay.
I don't really hear about younger people getting it. I don't know.
Just like the degeneration of memories and sense.
I'm not sure if there's an actual cause to it. I'm not sure if scientists have actually, found a cause, but I'm sure that a lot of it has to do with hereditary things,
I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can.
How long do people live after being diagnosed?
Ready to go?
I would say people live about 4 years.
Does it depend on how bad it is?
Maybe.
Okay, fine then. 10 years.
I'm not sure, like 10, 15 years?
Okay.
Oh man, I don't know. It's probably depends on the person, But if I were to make a rough, just a guess, I would say 5 years.
I think it varies from person to person, but it can be like as short as maybe 5 years, and they can go for as long as 15.
Until someone kills them.
Yes. It really depends how old they are and if they're healthy or not.
Okay.
And I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up, and you make it round, but get up now, get up now. And I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up, and you make it round, but get up now, get up now. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Waiting on this for a while now.
Yes. So is there anything we can do to prevent Alzheimer's disease?
I have no idea. Maybe people just gotta play basketball more, or actually, I don't know. I'm sure that there's some, I don't know.
No, I don't think there is.
Okay, so you eat right. That's how you avoid getting Alzheimer's.
Okay, so you eat right, all right?
There's like, you can start doing like brain exercises. You can make some postcards and try and like help you remember. So like if you lose your keys and if you don't remember, you know, you can just
write it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is. I mean, with you asking me the question, there's probably something that not many people are aware about. I'm sure there's some things that you can take that kind of reduce the severity of Alzheimer's and I don't know if there's an exact thing to help, you know, eliminate it directly, but I don't know, maybe there is.
It hasn't found a cure yet, but people are working on it.
But I guess there are some, so I did a video for a company and there were products that were shown to cause Alzheimer's, so I guess there are some known ways of how Alzheimer's is caused, I think.
Could you tell us what Alzheimer's is?
Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. Dementia means that mental processes are slow, so that you lose the ability to process information, you lose the ability to form new memories and respond. It's what we would call a cognitive disorder.
Okay. So what exactly does it affect then? Does it?
Alzheimer's, it may be actually more than one disease. We don't know what causes Alzheimer's, but it's a certain type of dementia that might have multiple causes. In Alzheimer's, one tends to lose the ability to remember some recent details, and later the ability to make complex decisions, to do math. Later on, you could even lose the ability to care for yourself and meet activities of daily living. It's usually slowly progressive. At first, symptoms are very, very subtle. The time between when a person is fully capable of making their own decisions and when someone else needs to make their decisions for them, there's a big gray zone in that area.
Would you say there's any way to prevent the disease or protect yourself maybe from getting the disease?
Alzheimer's has a strong genetic component, which means that if you pick the right parents, your chances of getting it are dramatically less. There are certain mutations that are associated with very early Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's, though, if you stay mentally active and mentally alert, you're less likely, or at least better able to cope with the dementia once it occurs. So keeping mentally active and mentally sharp, doing mental exercises seems to slow down the onset of Alzheimer's.
So right now there's no cure or anything that we can really do to prevent the disease. It's kind of...
Once the disease starts, it progresses. It's variable in how quickly it progresses from person to person. There are some drugs improve the functioning of the neurons so that you get the best out of what you have left, but still you tend to continue to lose mental function even with those drugs. But it can't be reversed, and eventually a person will either die with Alzheimer's or they'll die from Alzheimer's.
So what kind of life expectancy would you predict for somebody that's just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's?
The clinical course is very unpredictable. If there are other things that tend to take part of a person's brain function away, such as having had strokes in the past, atherosclerotic vessel disease, other types of brain problems, then Alzheimer's is an insult that there will be rapid deterioration of mental function. But there's a lot of variation from person to person. Some people will go 20 years with a very slow downward path, and other people will, within a year, go from having a job, being very functional, to in a nursing home.
So in the medical field, how many cases would you assume happen? Is it something that regularly happens, or is it something that's still fairly rare?
It's a very common illness, and it will become more common because you have to die of something. And if we keep you from dying of cancer, and if we keep you from dying of heart disease, if we keep you from dying of a stroke, you're going to die of Alzheimer's.
Okay then.
Take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world. Hey.